Okay, hey everybody. This is just a short introduction to using Blackboard at CCAC. So the direct URL for Blackboard is courses.ccac.edu/ultra. And when you type that in, you should come up with a page like this. So you'll just use your username and password. Same username and password you use for email and signing into computers on campus and all of that, and click sign in. When you sign in, it takes you to this screen. I'm not a big fan of this screen. I find that it doesn't often work all that great. So I don't know, I find it a little hard to use. So I tend to go to the old Blackboard site. This is a deprecated site. I don't know how much longer it'll work for, but the nice thing about this is you can actually control click your classes and they kind of pop under. And so I can at the beginning of each day or each week, I can open up all my classes, do what I need to do, and kind of close them out as I'm going along. So I like using this page. You can see the URL up there. Unfortunately, you do have to type that whole annoying URL in once, and then you can just bookmark it. So I like this screen, but this is a deprecated site, so I don't know how much longer it'll be active. But this is the more recent view. These work a little better on mobile devices and things, so that's why they're going to this kind of a view. Yeah, so you can see that I have my classes in here. The first thing that I want to look at, and I'm not exactly sure where it is, I want to look at the math department site. So this CCAC Department Math South, or its kind of title is just SMAT. If we click on that, there's a lot of information in here for faculty. So one minor note, if the window is sized too small, this bar on the left side, that's the very important navigation bar, just disappears. Um, this was not my design choice, but it just disappears. And the only indication you have that there's something over there is this little arrow. But if your screen is wide enough, you can see this little kind of gray bar. You can click that and it pops out. Um, And then, once you pop it back out, if your screen's wide enough, if your window is wide enough, then it doesn't go back over to the side. Um, so a couple important things in here. The first is we have objectives documents for Math 80, 90, and 108. These are just kind of an overview, a rundown of what we cover in each course, and gives you an idea of the depth that we cover each topic. In administrative documents, again, lots more information. We have some placement test scores, information for that. If you have a student that you're not sure whether they should be in your class or not, you can view the placement test scores there. I haven't updated this recently, but the calculator lease program, that's another thing that might be of interest. Our calculator competencies document, some room change procedures, things like that in administrative documents. We do have some departmental midterm and final exams. We haven't required the use of these for a few years now. We kind of went away from that with COVID and with the whole remote situation. So at the moment, these aren't required, but if you want to use them, you're certainly welcome to. There's some information here for setting up Blackboard, setting up your Blackboard shells for each semester. Information for WebAssign, which is the online ancillary that we use for most of our courses at South. I do need to update the contact information here. Christian is no longer doing math at Cengage. We have a new rep. But you'll see this WebAssign quick notes for things like copying a course or changing due dates. The student registration instructions document, you can give this to your students along with your course key, and that's enough for the students to get into WebAssign. I also have on here an alternative WebAssign registration instructions. It's just a tiny bit different from this kind of official one, but some students occasionally have tech issues with the official version. So I'll point them to this one if they, are having tech issues. And then just some quick links to different CCAC resources. You can see the portal and so on. So I also want to go through what it looks like to kind of set up a class um, for a new semester. So let me go to the upcoming term, fall of 2024. And I shouldn't be in that one still, but so I'll use this one as an example, Calc 3. So you notice on the left, I have a bunch of a bunch of resources and content and so on that is already put in here by the college. At this point, I have my course set up the way that I like it. So what I will do is I'll go through and delete all of this and then copy my material over from a previous course. But if you're creating a course for the first time, you can use this material as kind of jumping off points. But I'm going to go through and delete all of this. So unfortunately, I do have to delete every one of these individually. There's no quick way to do it. We used to be able to put in a course copy request and basically just move our previous shell over to the new one. But if you try to do that using the automated tools now, it doesn't work so great. So you kind of have to do the copy manually. Okay, so I have my 24 fall Calc 3 section ready for material to be moved into it. Another kind of unfortunate thing is you would think that if I want to copy material from another section into this one, I would use the course copy in this section to do it, but it's a little backwards. So I want to copy material into 24 fall Calc 3. I'm actually going to go to my previous Calc 3 section or whatever section I want to copy from, and I have to do the course copy from there. So I'm going to close out of this one. I just taught one in the summer. So I'm going to pick my online Calc 3 from the summer that again is already populated with a bunch of material. And this is where I'm going to copy from. So I have to go to this course and push the material from this one to the new one. So to do that, I'll go down here all the way at the bottom, packages and utilities. It's almost off the screen. This is as far down as you can scroll. Blackboard is not the most user-friendly system, unfortunately. So I try to do as little in Blackboard as I can. But especially with remote and online classes, it is important to have all the material in Blackboard. I'm going to come down here to packages and utilities, course copy. I want to copy materials into an existing course. My destination course ID, these can be a little tough to look through, but what I focus on is first the semester. I'm looking for 24 fall, and then I'm looking for the correct course. So I see that I'm in 2022 here. If I keep going over, I see here I'm in 2024 fall, and I'm looking to copy into my Calc 3 section. And I'll submit. So this is the course that the material I select is going to go to. And I'll go down here and copy the material that I want to copy over. So I've done this quite a few times, so I know what I would like to move over. So I move my discussion boards as well as all of these folders that I've created. I hit submit and the course copy is in progress. And again, your copy is going to look different than mine. What folders you choose to move over each semester is going to depend on how you build your course. All right, so let's exit out of here. and go back into our fall of 2024 Calc 3, and you see that all of this has now moved over. So I have my kind of, oops, oh, I neglected to copy my announcements over, but if I copy my announcements over, I would have all my template announcements copied in here. I have things like some different resources for the students, um, the Zoom folder that has the links kind of and the wording kind of set up the way that I like it. So I will edit my Zoom links for my current semester's office hours and so on. My textbook information is copied over. So I have all this material that's copied over. I'll reorder it. I might want to add a subheader like course information and um, administrative information. And I can just click and drag these to wherever I would like them. So I won't go through everything in a lot of detail. I won't set this up completely, but this is what you would do. And again, if you want to add, so for instance, the discussion board, the material copied over, but I don't see a link for it. So I need to go into here, add a tool link. These are called tools. I'm going to go down to discussion board. I'll call it discussions. And then I see when I click on that, oh, I see that my discussion board for introductions came over. The other big thing in Blackboard is when do we make the course available to students? And under customization, if you go to properties, we can see up here with this padlock that it's locked. You can just click it and it supposedly makes it available, but the problem is that they've set the settings very strangely. I'm not sure why, but the default is that it only becomes available the day that the class starts. And I think most of us like to reach out to students a little bit ahead of time because otherwise we get a bunch of emails from students, the maybe Thursday or Friday or Saturday before the class starts saying, hey, I think I'm in this class. It starts Monday, you know, but I'm a little worried I don't see the Blackboard site, especially if it's a Zoom class. Students want to know that they know where the Zoom link is and all of that. They don't want to see that pop up, Monday at 9 a.m. for a class that starts at 10. So we go down here to make course available. And instead of selecting the start date of the course, which is kind of silly, we do continuous. I mean, I suppose you could select the dates that you want if you really wanted to, but I just select continuous. And that way the course is open until I choose to close it. But again, if you would think if you click the thing that says make available, that would make it available, but it does not make it available. Again, not the greatest design choices made in Blackboard, unfortunately. But this is what we have to work with. So yeah, I don't use the little lockup here. I go down to customization, properties, make course available, and then continuous. And then I would click submit. I'm not going to submit this one because I don't actually want to make the course live yet. I don't want students seeing it right now. But then I would see this red lock turn into a green lock. It looks like it's unlocked. And then I would know the course is available. If I ever want to see what the students see more or less, we see edit mode is on. I can just toggle that to off. And that more or less shows me what the students see. Again, it's a little silly because it still does show me all of this down here. So you can't actually see what the students see. Again, design choices, but for instance, if I'm in announcements and I have all of my template announcements, if I say, wait, which announcements are visible to students right now, I can turn off edit mode and that would show me what the students are seeing. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good quick intro to Blackboard. Again, with Blackboard, There's a ton of stuff that you can do to customize it to make it your own. You can build off of the college templates. You can um, share material with other folks who have a shell already built. Um, so there's a lot you can do with it, but I think this gives you at least enough to kind of get started and start working with it, tinkering with it, and seeing what you want to do.